Ladies and gentlemen, this is State Representative Kerry Condotta of the 12th District, and greetings from now all around the state. I guess this video has been making its way around, and that's great that you're getting the information you deserve directly from the source. We are getting to the end of the cutoff time. This is when the bills have to get out of committee. That's where we're at this week. A lot of them will not get out of committee. A lot of them will. And then the question becomes, will they get off the floor? There is a very interesting scenario happening here, in that it takes 50 votes to get a bill off the floor, and right now the Democrats have 50 votes and we have 48. And we've been out to several floor sessions lately where bills were put up to run and then didn't materialize because nobody could get 50 votes. We think this is kind of the shape of things to come here, where there might be one of the lowest volumes of legislation ever to come off the House floor, because it's very difficult to get all 50 people to agree on anything. Now, on the more bipartisan bills where there's some agreement, they have a chance of moving, and I think we've moved one or two. But that's pretty amazing. In the fourth week of session, we have had virtually nothing move off the floor. That is highly unusual. We've had some great hearings, though. Hearings on some of my bills and others I'm very excited about. One is tourism. Last year I told you about a horrible tourism bill that would have forced taxation on virtually everybody that was in retail business. It would be about a $10 million tax increase to an unelected board. This wasn't the way to go, so they challenged me to come up with an alternative, and I did. And I've introduced a new tourism bill, which basically, based on the Main Street program, allows people to donate money to a central tourism bank that would promote the state, and the state will kick back some B&O tax for their efforts. It's a really good program. It's been done before, and now we're trying to apply it to tourism. It's getting great traction. We think this bill has legs. We've had a number of other hearings, but let's go to the really meat of the subject right now, is the budget, which is coming up. This is what everybody's talking about because everybody wants something in the budget. Here's where we're at. We have to get a revenue report. It will come out in a couple of weeks, and it'll tell us what additional revenue we'll have. Remember a few years ago when we got the revenue report, we had $3.5 billion to play with. Most of it went to education in the budget. This year, I don't expect to see those kind of numbers. It is a short session. It probably will pan out to be a lot less than that. Plus, we're seeing a slight flattening in the economy. We're not seeing that explosive growth. So bottom line is, as soon as we find out how much we've got, then we can see if there's any additional capacity or whether we should save that. In my mind, we should probably save all of it, because if you take a 4-year outlook right now, we're $700+ million in the hole in the second biennium. In other words, we can get through this budget in a balanced situation, but we go $700 million in the hole on the next budget. So we better have some reserves, and that's if the economy stays on its current track. If we see a downturn, or even a partial downturn, just a slowing down, that $700 million will continue to increase. Of course, caseload and other things. Healthcare is what's driving most of the costs here. Obamacare, unbelievable costs with Medicaid coming online, more and more folks, and just the overall cost of healthcare is going off the dial. And of course, you've got state employees and agencies and everybody, we all have to pay that. And so it's driving the costs, and we've got to find a solution to that soon. But that's the budget story. We'll know more in a week or so. We'll know hopefully where we're going with this, and we'll see what stays in and what goes out. Hopefully we'll be very conservative. Thanks for listening. We'll have you another update on the budget next week. We'll see which one of those bills got out of cutoff. Thanks for listening. See you next week.